Hello and welcome as it is the 4th day of December 2019. My name is Derek, and I guess, like always, all bets within your own risk and your own reward. I'm going to give two strategies. One will be the FU strategy, although that will be the last time I'll say it that way, so of course that particular curse language will be used in this video. And another one, which is the NBA. And you can put these together, by the way. This is the two different types of strategies. And other sports, you can use this as well. And this is based on a situation. For last night, or yesterday afternoon, first off, I was thinking, I can't think of any way where I could dominate the National Basketball Association. Hockey? Oh, I got that baby down packed. Football, yeah, I'm working on it, and I think we can get her done, but not really too much. Baseball, oh baby, we're going to get that baby done too as well. But I'm always trying to find a way to win these games. So last night occurred the situation when I was looking at one game, and a few things clicked to my head, which involved the fuck you strategy. And to talk about that started, I think it was 2016, it might have been 15. And that's when I put out a website where my strategy was to put out daily showdown advice. My way of a risk reward for it was, well, if I put advertisements up, they click on it, they deposit funds, I get percentage of what they put in, and I end up getting a little bit back, actually. But what happened one night was I gave out a lineup in a preseason National Football League night. And I gave out my strategy, and it was an amazing, and it probably still would be. I just haven't looked at it since. Strategy to win the preseason of the NFL. And I gave out an entire lineup. Well, one person had to have seen my website because there's no way anyone would figure out my lineup. It was just no way you'd be unique. What the fuck you strategy has got to do with having unique lineups. And the person bought like 20, 30, 40, 50 lineups of my bet. So here I was sitting with one ticket of whatever particular players, and another person had 50 of the exact same people, we'll say. Well, what would happen? It will say 49 just for easy math's sake. But let's just say they had 49 hypothetically. It was some large number. Well, if I would have won first place, well, so would have that other player with the exact same score. And I would have got 1/50th or 2% of first place and 2% of second place and all the way down to 50th, which would have been very bad score based on what first place would have played. Which meant the other participant would have got about 98% of each of those 50 positions. And I realized then I cannot be giving out my entire lineups like that. That just hurt. That's just not right. And when I was making my lineup in basketball last night, well, I'll get to this whole fuck you strategy again because this is where I should have used it. And I will in the future. But what occurred was it's what they call the showdown, $125 quarter jukebox, which means just for a quarter you play, 594 teams. I won $1. So I made a 4x gain. And whom I had is I had former Toronto Raptor one season wonder for us, the Kawhi Leonard, also former San Antonio Spur, many more season wonder, as my captain. It looked like he had the third best game. You get 1.5 extra points, but it looked like Hassan Whiteside and Paul George put out a bit better nights. Pretty much all the same, though. And they really did all underperform for the most part, really. At least Kawhi Leonard and Paul George underperformed. Damian Lillard definitely underperformed. Hassan Whiteside, I was thinking about putting him as captain as well, but it came down to those four guys. They were by far the best four guys on the board. 74% owned for Kawhi, 63%, 67%, and 40% for Hassan Whiteside, the former Miami Heat player. I had to think about the last team name for a second. But I don't know who this Simmons guy is, even if I pronounce that name correct. Now, I do know of Kent Bazemore, the former Atlanta Hawk. But when I was looking at their statistics, I was thinking, just by quickly looking at it for only, I gotta think, 40 seconds, I'm thinking these guys should each put up 20 points. And they did, 21 and 24, respectively. And they were, one of them was $1,000 to buy, which is that's pretty much minimum cost. And the other one wasn't that much more. And after I put these two guys in, I was looking at what I have left. I'm thinking, I could put these 4 guys in with one of them as a captain, and probably the best one as captain in Kawhi. And I was able to. And now what I'm doing is I just put, normally I would just play this in 10-cent games for 2 reasons. Number 1, to see if I can figure a way to win. And usually I'm just going to come up, it doesn't look good, I'll put it in, and that's it, nothing. 10 cents, and I'll play it to try to win the $25 Christmas Day Showdown. After all, hockey takes a break on the 24th, 25th, and 26th, so it'll give me fantasy action on Christmas Day. Either way. It's just to try to attempt to win. But then I thought after I put my lineup in for 10 cents, and I didn't win the Showdown because I had to finish first or second. I finished, I think, 34th. And there was several hundred people playing in that one. But if I finished first or second, I'd win a $25 ticket on a 10-cent bet. Anyway, I thought afterwards, we'll put this in a 25-cent lineup because I'm probably going to at least min or triple min cash, and I think I quad min cashed because it's, how do I not get a lot of points? I got the 4 big stars. It doesn't matter who's captain. Obviously, I thought Whiteside was a good sleeper captain. I thought Kawhi and George each had a big chance, and Damian Lillard as well. Is a very good shooter. What did he have? He had 16 points, 7 assists. So he had a very good game. But what I was thinking as well is use that fuck you type of strategy. Now this was only 594 people. But that's because I was doing this 10, 15 minutes before the game started. And the big game had already filled. So I had to play whatever big game was left. I thought, I'll just put this in here. I probably should have put in 3 lineups or 4 lineups at least. Actually, for a quarter, even 8 lineups. Whatever the maximum might have been available as well, even 2. And when we were looking at whatever bigger games, maybe they have larger amounts. You put 20, 30, 40, 50 lineups in. And if it wins, now there's going to be maybe a few people not impressed with what you did. As far as my results were concerned, I finished in 27th. It got 200.62 points. 594 teams, so I finished in the top 5% or so. Pretty decent. I had the chance to win. Of course I didn't. And these 2 other people with the exact same score had the exact same lineup as me. So Nick the Fish and this person there. So if I would have put in, say, 7 lineups, I would have said, well, fuck you. And I would have got 7 ninths if I had 7 lineups of first place and 7 ninths of second all the way through ninth. So the strategy is just simple like that. If you can see that you are able to put 4 major stars in any lineup and have one of them as captain and have 2 guys that can at least have a good chance to get it done in any situation, you have a very high probability of getting large amount of fantasy points. That's when you want to spam the lineup, put a large amount of them through, and just take it down. And long term, I truly believe, even though I've only done this for one situation, that it is a very smart, profitable strategy. Now, I go further, deeper and deeper into this. There's a thing where you can export the lineups. If you can't see it, but if you scroll to the bottom of this section here, you will see export lineups to CSV, or CZV rather, or whatever. You get it with a spreadsheet. Well, I can do a lot of things with that. And, well, in these 594 lineups, I've already figured this out. 304 of the 594 lineups had the big 4 players as captain. It didn't take me long to figure that out. They don't tell you that. They'll tell you the percentage they're owned, but not that they're of their captain. And this is getting even more in depth below. 13 of those lineups, of the 304, as well as the 594, had all 4 of those players in the lineup, with one of them as captain. and 5 were really two other people only. About 1%, a little under 1% of the lineups. And if I didn't join, it would have been 4 out of 593. Had those 4 stud players, captain once, with the 2 guys that I pointed out. Now, another good, I think former Raptor Patterson had a big game. Because when looking at the ownerships, it seemed that Patterson stacks did pretty good as well. I don't even know what team he's on. But I have a, not only do I have a feeling, I'm just looking at, I know for sure it's either Portland or the Clippers. I just wasn't sure if it was Portland that Clippers beat. Or, the Clippers beat. Anyway, here's a spreadsheet that I came up with. These are 13 lineups in here. Yeah, these are the 13 of the 594 that I filtered through. Didn't take long. This is your captain, and these are your other players, sorted from highest cost to lowest cost. So it was really actually easy to sort out the 4 highest players, and that was it for the list. And we can see these were the places that they finished. So this lineup did a little bit better putting in George as captain. Okay, so be it. You can see this Nick the Fish, who did it twice. Nick the Fish did this twice. This person knows what they're doing. How many lineups does this person play? 3. Nick the Fish did it 3 times. And maybe my filter was off and there's a few more but anyway, it was pretty much not many people would do it, because the only way you can do it is put in, like, really, and the cheap guys oftentimes, I looked at a couple, it's like, yeah, no, 5 points, 8 points could easily be possible, don't want to do it. And then when I seen those 2, it was like, yeah, no-brainer play. Another game that I've done very well at is golf. I've had 2 to 3 good fantasy results, including, and when I was doing the website, a lot of things were really frustrating in fantasy, including the rate of their game going higher, ownerships, and that. And that's the ownerships of the football games, at least for that season, was really weird. It's not like it was the years before, and it's not like it is now. Meaning it's back more to normal. But the ownership levels, and I realized that people were giving away too much information on the internet, I thought, and I'm thinking, I'm not like I was getting that popular, but I was getting a few hits. But getting this information away for free is almost like bad, and that's why I don't want to give up my hockey strategy too much in depth, because that means more people will be putting smarter lineups in. And I remember it was one of those small sites. So if you follow me on crypto exchanges, there are small crypto exchanges like the Coin Exchange. They went down, and there's so many what they call shit exchanges. Yeah, just like there's shit coins. And, well, on one of them that's been down, I dominated their golf game. I think I hit it 2 or 3 times. I just crushed the game. I hit one. I think I won it twice, like 400 player games, and then I hit it second in another one. It was crazy. And then on DraftKings once, they had a big game, a $20 game. I think I cashed like 300 or something. Actually, I can get the results at some other time, but I did cash maybe 200 to 400. I cashed in a $20 game, but I was in situation to win a big one, and it didn't work out. And then I had a big win betting on it, but that's because I tailed somebody's information on YouTube. Just a guy that Pat Mayo, one of his guests, he had like, yeah, I picked this guy, I can't remember his name even, to win like this big, one of the 4 majors, like, I don't know, 2016, 2017. It would have been 16 because it was pre-crypto days. It would have been the 2016 summer winter when Jordan Spieth screwed up in the final day, and because he screwed up, I won. So whoever won that one, you can let me know, because I've been trying to think for years. So if you let me know, that'd be cool. But anyway, I'm not searching it. We'll see if I get forced to look at it because you tell me, which is, anyway. This is a basketball lineup, and this is the lineups that I got into play. And I did a very small fuck you strategy on this at the most lowest of levels. And I'm just going to search to my name. There it is. I bold who I put in. I put 4 of the same lineups in. Justin Thomas, Tiger Woods, Webb Simpson, Dyson DeChambeau, Gary Woodland, and Matt Kuchar. And I was very bearish on Tiger Woods back in the earlier days when I was winning. But I mean, a little while ago, I heard he was doing well, and he had an outing before, and he actually won it. So, and his cost is really cheap. So I thought, you know what, let's give him a shot. I know he's like 77 years old, sarcastically speaking, but he's older than me, and I'm old. So, yeah. With that being, and he's much older than me, because I remember he was dominating when I was in college, and I think even my early college days too, maybe. I entered college in 94. All right, then. So, Ubemto, Rob, Great Gans, Raider CD, and C. Palmer did the exact same thing as me. So I get 4 ninths of first, second, and ninth place, or third to whatever place if we finish in third place, whatever. But as we can see in here, I mean, we can see that this lineup in here was shared several times. No, at least from here. And there's Jordan Spieth right there. I mean, there's all of these different people. So if one person in here would have put this lineup in, I mean, imagine 150 times. Well, I'm going to show it to you. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep pushing page up until I can find it. So I've already seen it. And what we're looking, it doesn't take too long, I don't think, but there's one guy who did it at the most aggressive level. So now I'm just waiting to see it arise. And there's only like 4,000 viewers or entries into this game, or maybe a bit more. And I'm sure it was coming soon. I thought it didn't take me too long. Maybe I pushed page down first and it happened. I can't remember. But I'm already close to the top of the page, so if all else fails, I'll just scroll to the very bottom. And I knew it wasn't near the top, so I'm just going to scroll to the bottom of it now. And I'm not there. I mean, I'll see the exact same names to know. Here it is, Ghost Cougar. Yeah, it was below me. Page down. Number this is. He's got Tiger Woods, Webb Simpson, Ricky Fowler, Bryson DeChambeau. I don't even know if it pronounced that right. Probably not. Justin Rose and Gary Woodland. So does Keegan B15 and Art Cooper 07. Ah, fuck you, I guess, to you two. If you win or finish second, third kind of deal, because 101 and 152 of that prize. And is there anyone above it? I didn't think there was from before. No, there isn't. But he put all 150. It's a 50-cent game, so he put $75 in on it. Well, I guess fuck you. So now going back, this sport is a very volatile game as far as the movements. I'm going to explain my results last night in hockey. The individual game that was going on was that of the San Jose Sharks hosting the Washington Capitals in NHL hockey. And the final score of that game was the 5-2 for the Capitals. And I was strong on Ovechkin, who got no goals, no assists. And I still profited. But I didn't win $400. I bet 65 or ish, maybe 62. 63. That was my approximate bet. And I was winning a handful of games. But this is what the amount was. Literally the screenshot. About maybe 30 seconds before the Capitals tied the game at 1 in the first period, albeit as well too. It's just Melker Karlsson scored the first goal, and not many people played him. And all my lineups here were all my pro Melker Karlsson lineups. 21 live contests. Some of them are the NBA ones. There was 2 NBA ones, another hockey one. So 18 showdowns, I think. 18 showdown lineups. Actually, there was also another NBA one, too. So, 16. I had 2 NBA lineups, and there's also another two hockey. There's an individual hockey, but yeah, most of them are the showdowns. 134 entries. And 51 different lineups. And when we see 18.25, this was the same lineup in 3 different leagues, 3 different games. And then I had another 18, actually 4, because I have this one here at 18.25 as well. And then I had another at 18.05 in 2 different games. And I was winning this is the 2000 poke check. That's the $5 game. So first place pays $200. I was winning it at that point. I didn't win. And that lineup wasn't my best one either, because, well, things changed big time with the direction of score. If the score was 5-1, when the score was 5-1, it said I was currently winning like $100. I probably would have taken down more with bonus points at the end. And then Evander Kane scored. Didn't like that. I end up winning $91 back on my $61 bet. It was not 61 bet. Yeah, that was. So remember that last night was a 30 profit. So I had a 50% score. And this is how I calculate my close to 3,500 lineups in total play for NHL contests. It's now over 1,000. And what they say, and it's true, winning your first 1,000 is so much easier than winning your next 1,000. Or harder. But winning your first 1,000 is easier than winning your next 9,000 or getting the next 10x scale, which would be 10,000, which is what my goal is. I didn't think I'd get to 1,000 as fast as I did. In fact, I was kind of hoping that by playoff time, like April 1st, when I knew the stakes would get bigger and the games would get better and easier for my strategy. At least my thinking and even research on last year's playoffs has shown would be the case. And thus I was thinking maybe get to 3,000 by then, but I kind of wonder if I'll even get to 3,000 by the end of the year, let alone by the end of the hockey season. I still have the goals, but I think I'm going to crush that 10,000 number for hockey. I put out new goals, and I'm thinking they're conservative. My 2020 goals from January to December is to make at or even close to $100,000 in profit. And that is because I feel baseball, which is a much better game for volume, and it's easier to play as far as... Because even when it comes to things like how to win this game, I mean, I might write a book. I probably will, because I already said I would if I fulfill my goal of 10K on how I did it. But let's be honest with you. I've already got a couple people that I'm working with. There's a lot of extra advanced stuff that you really need to do, and I kind of seen that last night because one person made one of the most basic mistakes, which really worked out doing it fast. I won 50% and he lost 50%. So and it worked out because it was to play Ovechkin strong, and he was a horrible play. And Ovechkin got like 5 shots on goal. And he got him at the end, 5-minute power play at the end. And if Ovechkin would have scored at the very end, I was so cheering for him to score. I would have won a few $100 at least, probably, if he would have scored on that power play. And a couple times he got shots on, but all he got to was 5 shots, and that was it. Which is like 10 fantasy points. Nothing great, 10, 11 fantasy points. Especially when he averages around 20. But I even did research last night what Ovechkin does in his worst 7 games, so I knew exactly how to play it. And my lineup that won was an anti... Actually, no, it wasn't. One of my second or third best lineups was an anti-Ovechkin lineup. But I didn't have too many of them. But anyway, as it goes. Tonight, I'll be playing Ovechkin, but he's not the best guy tonight, and I can't say who it is because that would be giving out too much valuable information that someone at the Los Angeles Kings radio network gave to me about 7 days ago when I was trying to get Kings information for who was playing. Well, thank you, radio guy. Anyway, that's part of the goals that I have moving forward into the season. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.